Hello everyone, it's Nancy and I'm back with my July flip now. Yesterday I did the June flip, I'm going to do July, and I already did August, but I messed up July, so I've got to do it again. And when I left, my son was here and we were getting ready to go to Canada. First time out of the country for me forever. I've never been out of the country before, so let's see where this month takes us. David went and on July 1st, he went and helped me straighten up things and moved Bob's books, got them organized. I had them in a big mess, separating the art books from Bob's books, and took things out to the garage, and he made a wonderful chickpea salad. His new wife is a vegetarian, so she makes a lot of good veggie food for him. It was a pretty busy time for me, so I didn't have too much time to go on my Hobonichi, so there's not much to say. I got my new radio in the car and got a new suitcase for my my trip, and then we went to I had to go to my grief counseling, which has been very, very good for me. I recommend it to anybody that is going through, losing somebody. It's changed my life so far. David is real busy. He set up Bob's computer with Photoshop and his new scanner that I bought for him that he never got a chance to use. I tried on my dress that I bought in April, and it's too big for me, and now it puddles on the floor, so my wonderful friend Tammy is going to hem it up for me really quick because I'm not a sewer. It's July 4th weekend, it's a 3-day weekend. Usually in the past, Bob and I would go find some quiet place to go, and he would go fishing and I would go painting. That's what we used to do on July 4th weekend. I did some sewing up of different things, and I had to do my wash, recycling, getting things out for my week away. David made a wonderful vegetarian omelet, which was really yummy, and then I gave him some watercolor lessons. He knows how to do computer art, and he wanted to learn how to do regular traditional art. So I sent him off with some supplies, and hopefully, he'll have some time to work on it once he gets back home to Dubai. Capital Fourth was on PBS, and Barry Manilow was on it, and I was watching it. Sunday was hair dyeing day. Got to get rid of the gray. I cleaned out my refrigerator. I did some work on the place cards for the wedding, and started getting ready to pack all of my electronics and everything that's got to be done for the trip that I don't need to. I get back and ahead of time. Monday was running around day. I did some bills out. I left at noon. I had to get some of my cash, do my packing, and I charged all my electronics, and then I took David out to eat for sub sandwiches, so we wouldn't, I wouldn't have to cook. Yeah, story of my life. I noted a book that I wanted to read, and I did read it. It's called Wake Me Up. It's all about a woman with her, signs that she's been having after her husband was murdered, and is a very good book. So Tuesday we left, and we went, I went north. It was really a toss-up between whether or not I should go all the way down through Chicago and through Detroit to get over to Canada or go north over the UP and all the way down the state of Michigan. I chose the going north part. The only issue was getting over the Mackinac Bridge. I don't do well on bridges, but I made it. Blasted berry the whole time, got plenty of coffee, and here I am ready. But the drive was just beautiful. Just had a wonderful time driving the freeway in Michigan. I highly recommend it if you want to go there. They have beautiful rest stops with no pit toilets and flowers and things like water you can get, vending machines, and I had a very, very easy drive all the way. We stayed overnight in Saginaw, and then we headed off the next morning. And when I got to the Canadian border, it said bridge to Canada, and it's an actual bridge, just so you know. It's not a metaphor. And I freaked out, but I made it through. And the customs guy, I thought he was a toll booth, and I asked him how much money he wanted, and he wasn't too happy with me. Those people don't have a sense of humor. But he let me in. And when I got over the other side and got back on the freeway, it's like, oh my God, I have to go 100 miles an hour? And David pointed out to me that we're now in the metric system, and then I had a fourth grade flashback where my teacher was warning us that we're going to need the metric system. Everybody's going to the metric system, and so you're going to need to learn it. Well, I did not learn it. I didn't feel it. So then we go and get gas, and it's 1182. Okay, what does that mean? $11 and 80 cents, 82 cents, $1.18 a gallon. What is it? Well, I guess it's liters, and it was $1.18.2 liters. So I had lots of issues. Plus, my GPS does not talk very loud, and I can't look at the GPS and watch the road. And it's just, I was ready to shoot it. Anyway, we made it alive to Olivia's mother's house, and she treated Lee like a queen, and I helped out with getting things ready for the wedding, and it was just a lovely time. I painted her garden out in the back while they were busy running around doing things with their hair and everything. The next day was running around time. David and Olivia had to get their wedding license and get their hair fixed up, and my sisters came, and the Pan Am Games were also going on, so Toronto was very, very, very busy. I finished my calligraphy work for them, and then I was off to the hotel. We stayed at the Toronto Prince, a 5-star hotel. Yep, fancy schmancy. My son works for the hotel chain, and so we got it for like less than $100 a night. So that was awesome, because we can't afford a 5-star hotel. So we got to bed fairly early, midnight, had a good time talking with my sisters and my brother-in-law and my niece who came. The wedding day was, David was late coming downstairs from the hotel. He didn't have his tie tied. He got a bow tie, and he decided to wait until the day of the wedding to learn how to tie it on YouTube. Yes, sir. So he was late, but the ceremony was beautiful. The whole day was magical, and it was just a beautiful wedding. And I'm so glad I got a chance to go. The next day, we picked up the newlyweds at the hotel, and we went to Niagara Falls, and I painted there, and I was a street painter. Everybody came over and looked at my work. I probably could have sold it had I wanted to, but I did not want to. I wanted to save it. I had it in a big moleskin. I'll do a flip through. A big moleskin watercolor journal, and we went past a whole bunch of lavender fields, and I'm going to paint those too. It was just a beautiful time. Just a once in a lifetime thing to be able to do that. And I was just high as a kite, I tell you, on being an artist. The next day we had to go home, and I was, had to go home by myself. So I had to decide whether or not I was going to follow my sisters and my brother-in-law, and follow them down through Chicago. And then I decided, no, I'm going to go. I want to go on trips and paint, and I'm going to have to do it by myself. So I pushed it. I turned Blasted Berry, and I went on my way. And I was so happy to go to the bridge to get to the U.S. I told the security officer there, the Border Patrol, whatever you call those people, I said, I'm so glad to get home, but I'm going to be able to read signs again. Yeah, on the wedding day, the TV said it was 19 degrees, and I'm like, oh my God, how cold is that? I didn't know what I should do. I didn't even know how to figure it out. So there, I'm a college graduate, and I have no clue. I'm not a world traveler, but I guess I am now, because I went there, came back, they let me back in. So I went back into the same hotel that me and David stayed in on the way up. And the Comfort Inn in Saginaw, great place for shopping. I tell you, I could have thrown a stick and hit Michael's, Joann's, and Hobby Lobby, and they were like within walking distance to the hotel. Oh, and also Canada, they have like our McDonald's, they have everywhere. Well, in Canada, they have places called Tim Hortons, and they have the best donuts. Oh, it was bad diet. Oh, I was on vacation. And coffee, really good coffee. So, went there quite a bit. On the way home, I painted the Mackinac Bridge, and I painted a little lighthouse at St. Ignatius, and I had a great time. I didn't have a problem at all driving all that way by myself. So, but when I came home, it was like I wanted to tell Bob everything that went on, and the house was empty. So here comes the tears. Weighed myself when I came home. I lost 2 pounds. Don't know how that happened, but maybe it was a lot had to do with walking to find a bathroom. That I did a lot of that. I had to go to work right away that next day. Finished to do my unpacking, threw out some food, and I practiced my violin. Then I was kind of still tired from the trip, so I'm walking around like a turtle, and I'm very sad and lonely. All week I had, my family and lots of laughter, hugs, and love, and now I'm all by myself, so I'm thinking about how am I going to do, my life now. And then I get on these kicks, and then the tears won't stop. I watched, so instead of crying, I turned on GH Marathon, because now I've got a whole week to catch up on. So, and I made myself spaghetti and GH. For those of you that don't know, who haven't watched it, my videos, GH is General Hospital. I've been watching it since I was 18, so I'm kind of hooked. I'm going to be 62 soon. So it's one of those things that I don't ever want to get rid of. Let's see, it was 85 this Friday. I was so glad I was so tired, from the whole trip and everything. So I futzed around after work, organized my paint supplies, got, regrouped things, and like my tissues and things from when I was on my trip, took them out of the bag and filled up my water containers, things like that. And so I was in bed early, and the air was on full blast. More organization. I did my wash, and I had put colors in a palette, and I forgot to write down, or something must have distracted me or whatever. I forgot to write down what the colors were. So I was busy for the whole afternoon opening up tubes of paint to try to figure out what this certain palette was. I changed my sheets in my bed and even had a nap. The next day I went to town, had to buy some bird seed, and I painted some pictures, and I painted a picture of a hunting shack that we were thinking about buying, and it came with 2 acres of land, and Bob said that we could, cut down some of the trees and put a double wide, and then the hunting shack would become my art studio. So I painted it as if it was my art studio. I put flowers around there and a ramp for Bob to get in, and so it was on sale. The price was reduced, so I wanted to paint it before somebody bought it. So people get kind of nervous when you're sitting outside painting their houses. So I'm thinking about, all our dreams and stuff up in smoke, and how am I going to do this living without him? I still don't have a clue, except for just doing it day by day, and praying a lot. And David forgot stuff, so I had to send it to Dubai. My friend came and we did art. Her name is Nancy, and so we had wine and drawing. She does a lot of collage work. This was a stamp that she had gotten. It was really cool. It was a handmade stamp, so I asked her to stamp it in my journal. Next day, I'm noticing more clothes are getting looser and looser on me, so that's cool. And I got a call from Olivia's aunt, my new daughter, her aunt, and so it's kind of nice to have, somebody new and a new part of the family. So I'm so happy about that. I had raffles for dinner, more of the GH marathon. Thursday, I'm getting a lot of stuff done. I played the piano. I went over to Aunt Nancy's house again. We had wine and salad, and it's just so much fun creating with a friend. And then she was busy out showing off my sketchbooks, and I got a couple of commissions to do during the winter, so that was cool. Thank you, Nancy. I'm getting out more, with friends and things, but my life with Bob was beautiful too, no matter what the issues that we had to deal with. I was so happy to be part of his life. Went out to dinner, fish fry with Tammy and her husband. Saturday, I had my music lessons. I'm now taking, from the same person, I'm taking violin and piano because I'd like to get better at the piano. I just kind of do it myself. So I'm taking 2 music lessons. I went to the Pig, and then I came home and I had designated this weekend to do some paintings. I had saw a scene at the wedding and I wanted to paint it, and I will show you a link of the. I'll post a link to where the finished paintings are. So it was really nice setting everything up, getting everything ready to produce an actual painting instead of the sketches that I usually do. And then the next day I did, the whole day was painting, and when I got done with one, I started another one right away. And so I got 2 paintings. I felt like I had the spirit of Vincent van Gogh in me, and it was just wonderful. I painted for the first time in 2 years an actual painting. So Monday, I didn't want to go to work because I wanted to keep on painting, and I was very happy with that. And I was showing off my work to all the people and at my work, and I was very happy with that. And it's almost, you know, from being off for a week, I was really backed up, and so I worked 11 hours with no lunch. I had to have taxes done by the 31st, and so the tax man waits for no one. So I got, on the 29th, it was the anniversary of Vincent's death. He died 125 years ago. So I painted some sunflowers in his honor in my other journal. And Bob's last present from me came. I had ordered a special edition of Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. That's the sequel to Kill a Mockingbird, and this one came from her bookstore that she used to go to, and it had a stamp in it. Anyway, I told him I was getting it back on Valentine's Day, and he knew it wasn't going to come until this summer, and it's still wrapped. I haven't even opened it. Today was a crying day. I just miss him so much. I watered my plants, my poor plants. It's been really so hot. Dropped off the taxes, got some presents and stuff for the kids because I'm going down to Milwaukee on July 31st. Seems like the days that I am really upset and crying, I don't sleep then, and so that was really bad because I had this long drive to do and with no sleep. And so I chugged through. I had presents to pick up, and I bought my great nephew a hedgehog backpack and some books for my grandchildren. I didn't want to stop and get dinner because I was afraid it was going to make me even more tired, so I got a Kind bar and apple, and I'm off to Milwaukee. So that's it for July, and I'm going to be uploading my August 2 tonight, and I've got sketchbook flips to show you. I've got lots of things planned. So I'm going to get back into the YouTube game, and I'm doing okay. You know, I'm glad to get to be doing my art again, and I will continue on doing more of that. Long winter ahead, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So hope everyone has a great Labor Day weekend, and I will see you later. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.